Hi, everyone, and welcome to the RetailWire podcast in partnership with Zeta Global, the marketing cloud. I'm thrilled to be joined by Melissa Tatoris, Vice President of Retail at Zeta Global, to talk about one of the most exciting and rapidly changing times of the year, the holiday shopping season. This year, consumer behavior looks a little different. According to Zeta's latest survey, 83% of holiday shoppers say they'll allow algorithms to help them choose gifts, which really shows how technology is reshaping the way we discover and buy. From tighter budgets to shorter shopping windows, brands are under more pressure than ever to act fast, smart, and stay relevant. So today, we'll be discussing what that means for marketers, retailers, and of course, the shoppers themselves. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Lavina. It's great to do this, and I'm excited to kick this off.
Great. And I love the backdrop. You're really setting the scene for the theme.
Thank you. Yes, living in Texas, I decided to make my own little retail store. So I love coming in here, and it makes me feel like I can shop my own closet.
I love it. I love it. So to kick things off, Melissa, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your background in retail, and with Zeta as well?
Yes, love it. I spent 23 years of my career in retail running marketing. I started at Model Sporting Goods. I started actually in loyalty marketing and designing loyalty programs, but wound up running marketing and absolutely love retail and loyalty and bringing those two together. I went from Modell's to Office Depot to Sears Holdings to Ulta Beauty and did some consulting for Michael stores as well. And I fervently believe that, putting the customer at the center of everything that you do is such an important thing for retailers to have the ability to do. So when I came across Zeta Global and having the opportunity to have both retention marketing and acquisition marketing in the same exact platform, it kind of knocked my socks off. It's the crown jewel, if I can steal that term, of everything marketing, and underpinned by a data cloud. We actually have our own DSP for media. We have our own ESP, award-winning, I might say, 6 years in a row with Forrester, as well as a CDP. So having the ability, think of it like a never-ending perpetual motion machine where you're targeting, you're sending out, and then you have a return path. It's a complete loop where you're getting all of your data in and then data out and being able to target people. So it's everything that I always wanted from a marketing standpoint. And I was like in love with it. And the best part about this is I get to work with every retailer we do business with. So it's filling my retail dreams, it's filling my marketers' dreams, and I get to do everything that I want all day long. So it's super fun.
That's amazing, ticking all the boxes.
You got it.
So your survey found that 83% of shoppers will let algorithms help choose their gifts this year. What's driving that shift towards trusting AI in such a personal part of this season?
It's so interesting, and I want to discuss like consumers in general. We take our time with adoption. You always have those that are way ahead. They're part of the innovation. They're creating the innovation. And then you have the imitation, like I want to try. And then you have the hesitation, the ones that are like, I'm going to sit back and wait. AI in general and the ability to interact with AI has taken off so much faster than so many other technologies from a consumer mindset standpoint. It takes the guesswork out and makes everything a lot more precise. So think of it that you have 26 days this year in 2025, 26 days between Black Friday and Christmas Eve to do all shopping. It's one less day than last year, and last year was completely chaotic all by itself. So from an AI perspective, we're well ahead the hesitation. Everybody's kind of in here, they're talking about it, and generationally speaking, baby boomers have the most money to spend on holiday, but are, of course, the slowest. They're more hesitant to actually use chat, any AI technology to be able to gift buy. So when you start to go underneath that and you start with your Gen Zs all the way down to your Gen Alpha, it's like very secondary, right? It's very easy to use. It's about convenience. It's about time saving. And AI doesn't really have a horse in this race, right, Lavina? Like, there's nobody that's paying for Google Ads. You have to give the right data, and having that data as the foundation to be able to know who somebody is, to be able to take that guesswork out. And then you also have to ask the right question. So AI really helps solve this problem. Like, remember when NFTs came out and people were spending millions and millions of dollars on an NFT, and the average consumer was like, I don't get it. It's not connecting for me. AI itself connected very quickly because it's very conversational. It's very helpful. It is very precise. But again, having that right data. So I was playing around this weekend with my own and said, if I were to have my husband go and list some things about what to buy me for the holidays, absolutely came up with experience over an object. So whether it's a trip, last minute trip to the beach, the mountains, to a city, international, definitely rose above. A diamond bracelet popped up. So I was like, yep, that I'm all about that. And then feminine, fempire fueling indulgence, a bag, a leather bag made in Italy. So really interesting, right? So I spend a lot of time on AI. So I've trained my own AI that I've named and go to him a lot for feedback. But I think just consumers in general, they see AI as their co-pilot, as their co-shopper, as their helper. And it's just it's a fast link that happened here from a consumer mindset perspective.
Yeah, not thinking about it, so much information gets fed in on a daily basis. Like, yeah, so that really makes sense. So interestingly, the survey shows 74% said they trust an AI gift recommendation as much as one from a friend. Do you think that says more about how good the technology has become or how much shopping behavior has changed?
I think it's a little bit of both. AI has grown more contextually intelligent, where consumers are more digitally fluent. And I believe that from an like AI not having a horse in the race, there's no bias. They're going to elevate and bring up exactly you what it thinks you want versus a friend giving you more what the friend wants to give you. So I think and there's some data points that I'll talk about in a little bit about giving the right gift and how many gifts are actually not wanted. But trust has moved past personal relationships into that digital relevancy, and that 74% about, trusting AI more than a friend. There's no instinct. It's all data founded on data. And we know that data is truth because you're going to give enough context about somebody that you're buying something for. So having a multitude of data versus a friend that I may give something to a girlfriend because of this moment in time of what she needs, but I'm not thinking back the last 6 months of my best friend telling me that, she really wants to get into working out more. And so I'm not really paying attention to those data points through the last 6 months. I'm paying attention to now. So AI just elevates everything to more of a trusted advisor, a trusted friend, and really making a more precise decision for you.
Cool. So nearly 3/4 of shoppers believe AI will make holiday shopping less stressful. How do you see AI helping to simplify what's usually a very busy season?
It's a totally chaotic time, right? It's a chaotic time because you have family coming in, you're decorating, you've got to buy gifts, you've got to cook, you've got to bake, you've got to be neighborly, you have parties, like everything coming through the door in life. It makes everything busy. So shopping should not be stressful. So it streamlines, AI streamlines the discovery for you to be able to narrow the focus on, give me the top 3 gifts that I want to buy for my husband. He's a tech guy. He loves to travel. He loves to play golf. He loves all these different components. I don't have to do an endless scroll or to use Google to that's what I would use in the past. Is that what you would have used in the past too? Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Right. So now AI will just bring together that, call it, if he's a high tech guy and he loves to golf and he loves to travel, maybe there's a combined thing that I am not looking at from a Google perspective, like top gifts for men. I can remember. Do you remember using that? Like top gifts for boyfriends, husbands, wives, best friends. I believe that, the comparisons, you can talk about shipping, you can ask a very concrete question, but AI is all about putting the chat in the right frame of mind, knowing that I want you to be a personal concierge for my husband for gift giving. Really important. He's a tech guy, and asking that right question. So that is number one. Second, roughly, and I did some research on this, 1 in 3 gifts that are gifted are not wanted by the individual receiving the gift. That means 30 to 50% of gifts that are bought are actually not wanted and
Mhm.
returned.
Wow.
Like that
That's
is, it's sad, right? It's shocking. So to know that you're syncing exactly what that person wants without having them ask for it. I mean, who wants a gift that I want a black button-down shirt? Like, that you're going to get it. So it kind of takes away that magical, holiday gifting. So it's going to simplify, it's going to automate, it's going to give you the best item, maybe not the best deal, as long as you're asking on a repetitive basis. Like, I'm not going to look at that black shirt and say, oh, Lavina, like what week am I supposed to buy it based on prices? I mean, no AI is that good yet to actually say that it's going to be on sale the third, week of December on that Wednesday. So you still have to continually ask the right questions using that data.
Yeah. Are people shopping earlier this year, or are they still waiting for those last minute deals? How should retailers balance both behaviors?
Really interesting. So I'm interested in your opinion. So when you start to look at Black Friday, and I know Black Friday really started in the US. Is Black Friday, of course, it's shopped everywhere around the world. Is that still a tent pole event in the UK and the way that people shop on that Friday?
Very much so. It's a day where people go out shopping. Oxford Street is rammed with people, so
Yeah.
it's a big thing.
It is a big thing. Interestingly enough, and we did a survey of over 2,000 consumers, and there's a couple things. 20% of the people responded that they were going to start to shop after Labor Day, which is our first Monday of September.
Mhm.
But interestingly enough, 49% are shopping during that Black Friday and the week before holiday, the week before Christmas actually lands. So those two, that long weekend between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and then the last week of the year, that was 29%. So it was like 20% during Black Friday and then 29% that last week. So 49% of people are shopping in those two time frames. And that is that's crazy. So we went out and asked the question, how important is Black Friday and Cyber Monday to you? And I don't want to misrepresent here, but it wound up being that in 2022 and 2023, consumers were evenly split, saying, yes, it's still important. But in 2025, only 34% of consumers find Black Friday and Cyber Monday compelling. So as that tentpole event, retailers need to extend the relationship for holiday. I think when Starbucks comes out with that red cup and you walk in there and it feels like Starbucks is giving you a giant hug for holiday, Christmas movies are on and you're starting to decorate. People want, and it's happening right after Halloween, people want to extend the spirit of the holidays and the spirit of giving for a longer period of time. But when it comes to the shopping standpoint, people are holding out and people are waiting. Price is still the main driver. AI doesn't project, it's going to detect what people are going to buy. And when it comes to that last kind of where retailers should be spending their money and where they need to connect with consumers, it's really about price, of course, is the main driver about why people buy. So if you're coming out of the gate and your store is 50% off right out of the gate, you're going to be a little bit more hesitant to actually buy that retailer toward the end of holiday, thinking that they launch their sales that early. So I would say that, and you got to look at where people shop. We do know that online is actually dropping from last year to this year, correct, as a percentage. So it's not the total amount. We still have a very large amount of people that buy. As a matter of fact, NRF is still calling for 3.7 to 4.2% comps here in the States. No holiday, every holiday is usually a plus. Minus 2008 was the only negative. But during COVID, I mean, it's been really, really strong. But and this year, by the way, NRF is also saying that we're going to hit the first $1 trillion holiday. So that's a really exciting stat to sit and watch and to see how all of this is going to come together. But discount stores are back on the rise again. Department stores are also on the rise. The concept of community and shopping together and having that multitude of different departments you can shop. Malls are back. I went to the North Park Mall here in Dallas this weekend. I couldn't even find a spot to park my car in. And it was crazy. So I think that there's this concept of that emotional feeling of holidays. There's been a lot going on in the world. So maybe coming down to the more simple things about giving to people and giving gifts and things. But, consumers are about the price and they really want that deal. So I would say that, they're shopping. I didn't see a lot of bags this weekend. I saw a lot of people, but not a lot of bags. So
because there's a few weeks ahead. So
yeah.
Even in London, Selfridges is they started with their Christmas decoration. It's all Disney themed, and I'm very excited to go and check it out myself. But it's that whole magic of being in the physical store that I think consumers might be drawing more towards. That's not based on stats. That's based on my own emotion. But
no, it is. It is about it's retailtainment. Right. Yeah. And I can remember a few years back, Neiman Marcus here in the States, they had created a snow globe that there was long queues of people just to get into the snow globe, to get the kids with the snow. And it was a giant life size and it was glass. I mean, it was a gorgeous piece. It was, an incredible experience. That's really what it's about. It's the experience when you're in the store and that retailtainment.
Yeah, absolutely. With tighter budgets and inflation still on people's minds, are shoppers being more cautious, or are they still splurging in certain areas from your experience and data?
I thought about this long and hard. I think that consumers are sharpening their wallets, not closing them, and that they're spending time in selectively splurging, if that makes sense, where they're cautious, but emotionally they still want to splurge, whether that is for somebody special in their life or a parent or a child or even themselves. We do find that when people are shopping, they're not only shopping for gifts, but they're also shopping for themselves. And that splurge is still happen. And I would say that consumers spending more selectively. So there's a tale of two cities, right? Whether you're buying less, but you're buying better gifts. So buying for less people, but buying better, or you're buying more gifts, but spending less on each gift. So it's that tale of two cities, I think, depends on how big your friend circle is, how big your circle. You've got gifts for the teachers, you've got gifts. There's so many people that you can buy gifts for. and I think the average was something like $890 spent in the US per person that went out and spent money on people.
Okay.
So that's a hefty amount.
Absolutely.
I don't know that it's going to be that strong this year, just based on inflation and the tariffs and everything that's been out this year. But there was also a really important stat that I thought was interesting. In our survey, I'm going to read this. 42% of those who say they no longer spend on non-essentials plan to give non-traditional gifts. So that is more connected with that experience, the trips, the long weekends, the tickets to concerts, things that are a lot more experiential than an actual product.
So what's one thing brands can do right now to make sure that they show up for shoppers at the right time in those key moments that matter?
So I would say on that one that first and foremost, technology is the stage. It's not the star. The star is giving that perfect gift and technology enabling you to be able to do it. So first and foremost, you've got to activate data in real time. Retailers are drowning in data and starving for wisdom, like starving for the intelligence, starving for the answers, starving for insights into one-on-one consumer behavior, consumer response. So that, I would say, first and foremost, don't wait for the declared interest. Retailers should be looking at intent signals. You should have data that is inside of all the technology that you have that is telling you that I'm already shopping for a cruise for next fall, or that I'm already looking for the perfect spring dress or graduation dress or something along those lines. All of those intent signals are out there because consumers have digital exhaust. And if you're not reading that digital exhaust and you're not using your technology, again, technology is the stage, it's not the star. You've got to be able to do that. So use those predictive signals. And I want to say there's a lot of emotive marketing that's out there, and we're going to see that become stronger. Being connected emotionally with brands is so important. Instead of the one and done, I made the purchase and I leave, having more soul infused in your marketing is going to connect you stronger with your consumers. And using that data alone is going to help you win the war, right? And get the sale and convert the sale. So I would say that, and humanizing the experience as much as you can. I think that's why, Lavina, I think that's why people are going to stores, because of that community side. And it does humanize. It really connects you. I think on average, the average consumer, when you go and search something online, you only get to page 5. Now, when you're in a store, imagine how many pages of product you're actually looking at in a store alone. Clearly more than page 5. So retailers that humanize the experience online, and then also transparency, creating transparency on pricing. If you do have tariffs associated with something, explaining that. It's another way for retailers just to be more open about how they are having to increase a price on something because a tariff is there. Be transparent about it.
With so many brands using similar technology, how can one truly stand out and make its experience feel unique?
You know, AI in general is getting better. And if you think about the way that somebody searches, kind of like you open up your website and you talk about things like predictive search, or what are you in the mood for, or AI led chatbots, things that are less robotic, more personalized. Personalized commerce, that's another thing in having your website deliver product that's more relevant. Value is now seen as relevancy, not just price and quality, it's also relevancy. So with similar tech, to be able to have the right technology. And that's truly one of the reasons why I chose Zeta. The people at Zeta, I love working with them. It's a real fun group of people. We are very focused on bringing high tech to marketing and AI. I love that part, from our owners and our developers and the technology people. But the technology itself is something that I really love because it is all about meeting the customer where they are when they want you to be there. And it's all based on data and AI. And then we bring in our own proprietary data to amp up the ability to know more about a consumer. It's through our data cloud and then executing in the right channel. So it's making sure you're connecting with that consumer, but you do have to have the technology as the stage to get you there.
When so much of the shopping journey is automated, how can brands still create those emotional human connections that make the holidays special, like what you mentioned earlier with the physical store?
Yeah, it's really about leading with empathy, leading with humanization, and connecting with individuals. It's like fusing memory of not only what they've bought in the past, but what they've searched, understanding individuals within the zero-party data that you've collected over time, adding in data that you are sourcing. I don't like buying any static data because that's all rear view mirror data. I like buying real-time data and having all of that infused. And then once you get to that data, it's leading with empathy. It's having very soulful marketing that you're making everything relevant. You're creating a relationship with me as a brand, as an individual that matters to me. And I'm going to just return that by becoming much more loyal. So there's an emotional piece to the way people shop. And we see it in luxury. We see it in beauty. We see it in brands like Charlotte Tilbury. Once you emote with that brand and you love a brand, you just continue to buy that brand. So it is about a deep connection, and brands leading with that empathy and that connectivity from an emotive standpoint. Those are the brands that will absolutely win this season.
I was actually having a conversation with someone last week, and he mentioned an example of Gymshark, which is based in the UK. I don't know if you've got branches in the US.
I know it.
So it's based on Regent Street, and he mentioned how you've got kind of like run clubs, and it's more of an experience, a community that's built around the brand. And I think, just going off what you've just mentioned, I think that is that emotional connection that is created through all these different experiences as well.
It really is. And we all have a tribe, right? And whatever that tribe is based on, you share a lot within your tribe. And while you can influence your tribe, it's that human connection that still remains at the forefront of everything in how to market and what to do. So I love that.
And finally, looking ahead, how do you see AI and technology the way we shop in the future holiday seasons?
I believe that gifting is going to shift from reactive to predictive. I think that this is going to be the first year that we're going to see everybody using AI 83% of people said that they would do it. So I believe that this season is going to be a telltale truth for the future. Personalization is going to move from even micro segments. Most retail marketers are on the segment level. To get to that micro segment, really important of knowing all the data that you can use to get to those smaller segments. I believe that we're going to be on segment 1-to-1. I really believe coming out of this, agentic AI is also going to help create more autonomous discovery for individuals, bring several workflows together. As a marketer, that is going to exponentially amplify the ability for people to find the right gifts. And then to automate it from a marketing standpoint, really important, right? So you can spend your time more on what's next versus what has been. I think retail media is going to be moving into retail intelligence hubs where retail media is just going to be a baseline of ads being more of a storefront, but that there's a lot of intelligence of targeting the right people with the right ads and spending the right money with the right ads. I think that we'll have a lot of virtual try-ons and things like that we've always talked about. Some brands do it. Some brands do it better than others. A lot of it happens, like Sephora does it from a beauty standpoint. I believe that, emotional AI, will understand tone and intent. So there's going to be that connection on how you train your AI models as a retailer, and then how that creates and that relevancy to consumers and consumer mindset and connecting with me. But, over time, I think shopping's not going to start with search. It's going to start with, it's going to start with me and what I'm looking at. And that AI is just going to make everything much more pronounced and much more precise.
That's such a great note to end on, and so much to unpack there with so many valuable insights and data to back it. So thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Lavina. It's really a pleasure. And it's an exciting time of year. This is like a retailer's heyday. We love this. We love looking at store sales hour by hour, seeing how we can shift tiny levers to capture more market share and do what's right. But at the end of the day, it's all about the consumer.
Brilliant. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. And you too.
Thanks.